Come, let us worship Christ, the King of martyrs. Come, let us sing to the Lord and shout with joy to the rock who saves us. Let us approach him with praise and thanksgiving. Oh, hi. This is Ambrose. I am here to give you a tour of the Liturgy of the Hours, and specifically the Dominican supplement. So I thought I would just start by giving you a sense of kind of what I deal with in terms of all the different books and things like that. It's a lot of fun. So without further ado, let's get into the tour. Sorry about the amateur video. Okay, so this book right here, you see, is the current volume of the Liturgy of the Hours. It is, I have it open to the back because I'm doing St. Januarius today, and he has optional sections you can look at. So this one happens to be the Common of One Martyr. You can see that there. The other option for him is the Common of Pastors, which if I were to flip through a little bit further back, you would see that. So there's all these different commons for the proper feast days, like Common of Several Martyrs, Common of the Blessed Virgin Mary, etc. and so forth. You can see here I use my little red ribbon to mark the actual calendar days, which are the saints for particular days. Today is the 19th, St. Januarius, Bishop and Martyr. Interestingly about St. Januarius is, if I recall correctly from Paul Camarada's, what is that podcast? Saintcast. He said that there's actually a miracle of his blood liquefying on this day. So it's pretty interesting. Check it out. Anyway, so today, like I said, is Januarius, so I'm in the red, or the proper of saints, and you can see one difference. I think Lisa had mentioned that she has this brick, the Christian Prayer 1 volume. I have that, obviously. I decided to go crazy and get the full four volume set, so you can see 1, 2, 3, and then this one's 4. Basically, it's for different times of the year, so you can see Advent is, of course, the first volume, and then you skip down to Ordinary Time, weeks 1 through 17, then you go to Lenten and Easter season, and then you go to number 4, which is where we are right now, in Ordinary Time, which, as we all know, is because it's really boring and ordinary. Now, of course, it's because it's numbered as an ordinal, and probably the best sort of sermon or whatever I heard about Ordinary Time was saying that it's green because it's growth. It's time for all the things of the special seasons of the year, Advent and Easter and Lent and all that, to grow within us. So I thought that was kind of a cool idea. Anyways, back to the Liturgy of the Hours. So one of the differences between the 1-volume brick and the 4-volume set of bricks is you get the office of readings. And so you can see it's kind of longish sometimes. Couple pages. I mean, it's not that long, but it is like a daily morning or prayer thing. So that is not in the 1 volume. I think that's the majority of what's not there. I don't know all the details, to be honest, but there are probably some other differences. Also, these 4 volumes have a lot of repetition, like the full 4-week Psalter is in each of them. So you only have that one in the one book, once in the one book. Anyways, without further ado, quickly look at the other options here. So Januarius is optional, I believe. So if I had wanted to, I could go here to the 24th week in Ordinary Time, Wednesday, and do, well, there's the office of readings, but let's say I was going to do morning prayer, so I can skip through the office of readings. And oh, look, it just has a prayer for the day. So what that means basically is you go to the ordinary Psalter. So that's my white one here. Lots of fun flipping. See how much fun it is to pray? And so that, yes, this is Wednesday morning prayer, and this week happens to be week 4. So basically it's a 4-week cycle. You go through, you pray. You can start with, if it's your first hour, you always start with the invitatory, which, lots of fun again. If we flip over here to the commons, beginning is the invitatory, and the common invitatory is 95, but you can substitute other things, which, as you saw when I was sort of simulating it, there's this nifty little pamphlet insert, and it has some of the common prayers like the canticles and invitatory, so you have to do a little bit less flipping if you use that. Anyways, that is sort of the very sort of, what's the word, whirlwind tour of this. You can see, you have this, usually a hymn, then you have an antiphon followed by a psalm, antiphon followed by a psalm, and so forth. There's actually a lot behind this, as you might imagine. It's not just sort of haphazardly put together, and this is my fancy-dancy cover with my nifty Dominican, whoops, come on, focus, there you go, little pin that I have pinned on there. But I suggest, if you're kind of interested in like the background and some of the, I don't know if theology is quite the right word, but just the thinking that went into the structure and all of that, and why we pray the liturgy hours and that sort of thing, this is a good little book called A Companion Prayer Book to the Liturgy of the Hours. It's by Georges Albert Bossinou, because, of course, when you have a French name, you have to pretend that you can speak with a French accent. Okay, so, why was I doing this? Oh yeah, before I move on to this little thing, which is really the point of the video, I thought I would highlight these nifty little icons. So this is actually the birth of John the Baptist, and you can see over here we have Zacharias, John the Baptist, and this is, I think, supposed to be Mary, maybe, and this is Elizabeth, and then of course some serving people, I guess, or family. And then we have a cat, that's Elfric, hi Elfric, and a wife, good morning wifey.
Good morning.
And the baby Ian, hi Ian, how you doing? He's like, I don't know, I just woke up. And then we have, the reason I was doing that is because in the mornings, you always say the Canticle of Zechariah. And so this, I got as kind of a nice little visual meditation during saying that, it can get repetitive sometimes. Just helps, to think and focus on that sometimes. And then here's one for the Magnificat. It's, of course, there's a bajillion icons, and I just looked around online and found this one. I liked it. It's very iconic. And these little characters, mean things, which I'd have to look up because I don't remember. But it was cool, I promise, when I looked it up. And lastly, the sort of impetus behind doing this little video is the Dominican supplement to the Liturgy of the Hours, or rather the supplement to the Liturgy Hours for the Order of Preachers. You can see that it is technically a draft translation of the, should I try it? Proprium officiorum ordinis predicatorum. So that's basically what it is, 1982. So it's been around for a while, but as far as I can tell, there's no other, option for this. Not very fancy. And if I just sort of flip through, you can see it has familiar stuff. It's all just propers of Dominican blesseds and saints, and yes, we have a lot of them. So if I turn to around today, we don't actually have one today, but just before today, yesterday, we had Saint Juan Macias. He's actually a pretty big dude, apparently, because you can see he has several pages, as opposed to some of these other people who have, just like a little paragraph in a prayer. So, and they always tell you, like, where you can get, so for this Blessed Mark, which is tomorrow, you can do Common of Pastors or Holy Men for Religious, which, if you go for Religious in the book, you end up flipping around a whole bunch because everything sort of like builds on itself. So you have the ordinary, and then on top of that you have the the Common of Pastors, and then on top of that you have the Common of Holy Men, and then on top of that you have the Common of Holy Men Religious. And so you're like, oh, there's not a special prayer for religious, go back to pastors. Oh, there's not one for pastors, oh, go back to the ordinary. So it's a lot of fun, a lot of flipping. But anyways, that is that. I generally these days, because I'm very efficient and all that, go for the actual app on the iPhone called Divine Office. It's probably a better designed, and it has audio and stuff like that. Of course, it costs money. I happen to get it on a half price sale, But if you want a free one, there's I Breviary Pro Terra Sancta TS, and that's another cool app, and I'm pretty sure they have apps for the other platforms as well. So that turned out to be a little bit longer than I expected, but hey, that's what happens when you're ad-libbing. Alrighty, have a great day. Bye-bye.